It's Tokyo Game Show week, and Xbox is kicking things off here with a look at OD and Phil Spencer showing up with Kojima at his presentation. So we will take a look at all of that. We also have some leaks, potential leak of the Xbox ROG Ally pricing based off of a poster in the UK. And it's looking good if this is true, but it could be wrong because there are some mistakes on it. We have some information on just how many games Xbox players play. They play a decent amount of them. Plus, we have some other news on Arc Raiders, Borderlands 4, as well as some PlayStation stuff to go over. Now, before we do get into it, if you do enjoy daily gaming news content, make sure to hit the subscribe button to help this channel grow. Please share the video if you think other people would enjoy it. It does help get it further into the algorithm and just helps get the video bigger. But for now, let's get into the news. So if you remember when there was the recent Xbox layoffs, there was lots of discussion over what games were canceled, and people were spreading fake news and rumors about which games were not going to make it out of the game cancellations, because some games did get canceled. OD was one of those games that people were unsure whether this one was going to make it out. We never heard anything about it. Clearly, this game is still deep in development, and Xbox really does support this. They want Kojima to make a game here for Xbox, specifically through their partnership program. And now we have our first look at it, and it really is looking like this is the return of the PT game, the PT demo that Kojima had to stop working on, which pissed off a lot of people. And even right now, if you still have, I believe it's a PS4 with the PT demo still installed on it, you can actually sell it for more money than just a regular PS4 because you can't even get it anymore. But we have this here, OD revealing their first look at the gameplay, as well as some new information in regards to the game, as well as a name update to it. It is still called OD, but it is called now OD Knock. They say here the title, also known as Overdose, was revealed in 2022 during the Xbox Developer Direct. And unlike Death Stranding, OD is planned to be an Xbox exclusive game. So this is a game that is specifically under the Xbox Global Publishing, which is where they go out there and get exclusive third-party deals. This was obviously revealed before the entire multi-platform stuff was really expanding out as much as it has now here in 2025. So I wonder how long this will be exclusive to the Xbox. I would still expect this at some point to come over to other platforms, but probably for the foreseeable future, when it does launch, it will be only on Xbox and day one in to Xbox Game Pass, which will be a massive thing here for people to go out and be able to try it out. Continues on here and says, well, not much was known. Hideo Kojima, the game's director, emphasized that the game would be a new form of media. And fortunately, we did see the game shown off here with the Beyond the Strand showcase, where Kojima went into all of the projects and things that he is working on. And if you've seen the PT demo and you're seeing just kind of like how creepy and how at any time you're probably gonna get freaked out playing this thing, this reminds me very much of this, which will have people super excited, because when the PT demo dropped, they wanted more. And then there was the whole fallout with Kojima, and he couldn't continue to make that game. Here we are now with OD and crazy graphics, if this is what it's actually going to be like when it does end up dropping onto the console itself. But it's just super creepy and weird, and you never really know what is going on, which is just vintage Kojima at this point. There's so much still to be known about this game, and here it is. Here is the first kind of gameplay. It looks pretty insane, but of course, this is just a hype trailer to get people into it. We'll see how it looks this crazy good when it does drop onto the Xbox console. One thing I will say is that Kojima did mention that he wanted to work with Xbox when they first announced this game, was because of one of the things was their technologies and the cloud streaming and everything. What we've seen with the cloud streaming of assets, I believe this will probably be utilized in this game. We've seen this with Microsoft's Flight Simulator, how ultra realistic that game looks on the console itself. I can see OD utilizing that technology and giving us one of the best looking games that we have seen on console, something similar to what we see with Hellblade 2, but that was just made from ground up using their graphics engines and everything. But this trailer really gives you a first glimpse here as to what exactly you can expect from this game. They say here as well, when it comes to wanting to know more about it, that more information did come out and that it will apparently be a few different projects. Kojima is doing OD, Knock, while Jordan Peele will do another one, though no information was revealed about that. So this seems like it is going to be kind of like an episodic type of thing where OD is just going to be the overarching name, and then there will be the OD Knock, then there will be OD probably something else, and things like that. We'll see exactly how it does pan out, but Kojima's always doing crazy stuff, and cool to finally see his vision here for the first OD here that will be coming as of this point exclusively to the Xbox ecosystem. The pricing for the ROG Xbox Ally, we do not know yet. We may actually be getting the announcement and pricing tomorrow when Xbox has their showcase at the Tokyo Game Show, which I think is actually 3 a.m. Eastern. So you'll be waking up and you'll know all the information at some point tomorrow. But we did see this poster pop up. Now, I would take this with a grain of salt because there are errors on this poster, but it's interesting that this did get printed. Maybe it's just kind of preparing and they're guessing and they're just wanting to make sure that they have something available to show off, and they'll make those changes on the actual digital file before they reprint it when the official information does come out. But this was spotted with UK pricing, and the pricing for the ROG Xbox Ally looks even better than I would have expected. I'm thinking this thing may be more expensive than people thought based off of the recent price raises for the Xbox console, and how Xbox probably does not want to subsidize as much as they have been when it does come to hardware, even though we've heard rumors that they may want to subsidize more for this thing. And if this is the pricing, then that seems like that rumor would be true. But this poster did pop up here, and it's going around on Reddit. And you can see it's the ROG Xbox Ally, and it says pre-order now, so it's available out there for people. And it's £4.99 for the Ally, which is the first one, which would be a great entry price. We would see how that would translate to other currencies, but that's a great entry price for the lower version of the two models. And then the second one here, you can see that they have the Asus Xbox ROG Ally handheld console, again, $4.99, but it has the Ally X picture in there instead of the Ally itself. I think $4.99 for the first entry model is a great price, and that will have people interested wanting to pick up that one, maybe not looking even into the Ally X, because I think that one they may put out as a significantly higher price than the £4.99. But to me, that's a great starting point. The question, of course, will be what will the Ally X come in at? I am thinking at least $900. And if they go higher than that, it would be a tough sell for a lot of people, especially because then you're starting to push into the Lenovo Legion Go 2 territory, which to me is going to be the better handheld in terms of the specs on it, with the screen, the OLED, and the controllers that are detachable and stuff like that. So if you're going for that whole premium price, they're in that weird spot here with the Ally X that I don't think they can get too close to the Lenovo Legion Go 2 price, but they also know that they're not going to be able to bring this thing down to like $799 or $699, something crazy like that. So $899 will probably be the sweet spot, but hopefully we do get that official announcement at the showcase, which is very, very soon, and we will get all the information about many other things if we don't get the information about the Xbox ROG Ally. Jumping back here to Kojima and the production on OD, it looks like the Xbox leadership is genuinely thrilled here to be working with Kojima, something that they're excited about, continuing to push this forward. And we have Phil Spencer that actually showed up at the Kojima showcase where he was showing off everything that he did have in the works. And it says here that Phil Spencer had some words about working on the project. He says, what an amazing, I'd say maybe a teaser or a glimpse. Maybe it's like a signal. When I first saw it, I saw something new, something slightly sinister, but also something that was extremely Kojima-san. OD is bold, it's unique, and it's unmistakably from this studio, which is just incredible. We're deeply supporting the production. It's our technical work on Unreal that we're doing with the team, both with the flashy, what you see on the screen, but also a lot of behind the scenes work. We have one goal in mind, which is to bring Kojima-san's vision to life for all players everywhere, and we can't wait for players to experience it when it is ready. So they do reveal, obviously they're excited about this, but they also reveal that they are actually here working on the technical side of this project and helping getting Unreal to function and run properly. I would say probably mainly here with like getting that thing optimized on the console, because what we have seen here with some UE5 games in the past has just been, it's been rough getting good performance and optimization for those games on the console specifically. Not that it can't be done, because we've also seen other examples where UE5 has been completely fine, but the optimization side will take a lot more work. And Xbox is going to obviously send all their best technical people out there. This is one of their global publishing projects, so they're going to get the full amount of help that they need in order to get this game running properly. If you've ever wondered who plays more games, whether it's Steam, PlayStation 5, or Xbox, there's a new Ampere analysis that is coming out, and they've put out some interesting information based on who plays more games, how much time they play, all of that stuff. Well, it looks like that Xbox fans are the fan base that do play more games comparatively to Steam or the PlayStation 5 users. Not surprising, because of the reasoning, which is Game Pass and subscription service and being able to jump in and play a bunch of things, but also shows the power of what Game Pass is doing to get people to try out more games within the gaming genre, which I think is extremely important for people who are gamers, that to open their horizons and try new things, because you're going to find things that you do love very, very much. But it says here that the Xbox Series X and S consoles may have a smaller user base compared to the total numbers of players using Valve's PC gaming platform or Sony's PlayStation 5. But according to a new report, there is one statistic Microsoft gaming brand holds a strong lead in, and that is just the number of games that fans play. This is data from Ampere Analytics showing that in August, Xbox users played an average of 5.7 titles, while Steam users played 4.5. And PlayStation 5 players engaged with 3.7. So PS5 players play the least amount of games, different titles. Xbox gamers play the most, and Steam slightly less than Xbox at 4.5 games, which is not shocking whatsoever. They say here, Ampere went on to note that the average Steam user plays one game fewer than Xbox One's do, and PlayStation fans lagging further behind with two fewer games. And the company says these averages have been consistent since it began tracking this metric back in August of 2022. And to no surprise, this is thought to be the case because of the popularity of Xbox Game Pass service, with subscribers get obviously access to a ton of games. This is Game Pass was introduced in 2017. We are now 2025. We haven't had an update since 2024 on the amount of users that are subscribed to it. It was 34 million on the last milestone. But reality is here, Game Pass is getting gamers to try new games, which if you're a developer and you're seeing that number, you're thinking to yourself, okay, if I want to release my game, what is the platform where I'll have the highest chance of more people trying it out on? It would be Xbox. You look at those numbers, you look at the amount of games that people play, they probably have some back-end analytics, of course, when they're trying to pitch their game to Game Pass and stuff, in terms of if they decide to take that a deal for Game Pass, they'll see that more people try games and they'll want to put their games into the service. And I think that's kind of a big selling point here for Game Pass service, especially when Xbox is going out there and reaching out to developers. So I think that is a good thing. I think overall, if you're a gamer trying new stuff, trying different genres that you've never played before, you will more than likely experience things that if it wasn't for a service like Game Pass, you would have never played previously. Now, there is another statistic here when it comes to how long people play games. And again, this is not surprising as well. They say the Xbox players spend less total time in game than Steam or PlayStation 5. And last month, for example, PS5 users spent 12.7 hours playing games, Steam 11.9, and Xbox fans only recorded 7.7, which is a big difference here, roughly 4 to 5 hours. They say, with that said, Ampere also highlighting that on average, Xbox players are spending less total time in game than Steam. And they go over the numbers again. But you think about something here, it says it is proven that this to be swayed significantly by Call of Duty, which Microsoft now owns, and it is included on Game Pass. And last year's average playtime jumped 20% to 2.4 hours in November after the launch of Black Ops 7. And in August, 42% of Xbox playtime was spent in games available on Game Pass. When Call of Duty games come out in the fall, however, this number surges to over 50%. So obviously, Call of Duty, FPS games, all of that stuff, they get people to put in a ton of hours. Now, you look at that, the average amount of time spending in a game And then you kind of add as well the total amount of games. And I think overall, like the hours on each platform are very, very similar because there's more games that people play on Xbox. They spend less time in each of those games. And PlayStation, they play less games, but they spend more time in each game. But you add it all together, it'll be very, very similar. To me, this is just, it tells me one thing that I've always thought is that when you look at the console that sells way more, which is the PlayStation 5, one of the things why it sells so more is because as people buy it to play Fortnite and Call of Duty. It's where their friends are and they're spending tons of time within those games. It's basically the third party console for a lot of people to get into those free to play games and a lot of the multiplayer games out there. And I think Xbox has realized that and realized why they needed to change their strategy and just get people within the Xbox ecosystem. It doesn't matter if it's in the hardware itself, but just some interesting stuff there from Ampere Analytics. And there's more information in that report that maybe we'll go over at a different time. All right, Arc Raiders is coming out. This is going to be a huge looter shooter, extraction shooter that I think is going to be rivaling a lot of the big ones out there. And Marathon was supposed to be coming out around the same time as this game. That game obviously got delayed. And I think that's a good choice here by Marathon because I think Arc Raiders is going to be very, very popular. We have a great announcement here for people on Xbox itself. It will have Xbox Play Anywhere. And they also say here, leaves the door open for Game Pass too. So they came out here, they put an announcement. You can go pre-order the game right now. They say that they are going to be kicking off the open beta server slam in mid-October with the full launch of the game on October 30th. And on top of that, they have announced that the game will have Xbox Play Anywhere. So if you do want to pick up Arc Raiders, you can get it on your console and then play it on your PC and play it on any place where Xbox is available, which I think is going to be a big selling point for people looking on wanting to jump back between two different pieces of hardware. I know for me, it's the first thing I look at when games do launch now on Xbox is, does it have Xbox Play Anywhere? Because that is a huge feature that I'm hoping is being sold very well by Xbox to developers. And then especially going into the next generation where we know that they're really trying to merge PC and console, that every game will just basically have that feature for it. All right, Borderlands 4 is supposed to be coming out on the Nintendo Switch 2 in October. That will be no more as the game has been delayed indefinitely. Not shocking. I mean, we've seen the performance issues of this game specifically on PC and has had some console issues as well. So trying to get it to run on the Switch 2 would have taken a lot more optimization. And they're making the right call here, I think, so they don't release this in just an absolutely terrible state. They put this tweet out here saying, "Greetings, Vault Hunters. We need to share that the release of Borderlands 4 on the Nintendo Switch 2 is being delayed. Do not take this decision lightly, but are committed to ensuring we deliver the best possible experience to our fans, and the game needs additional development and polish time. To do that, our hope is to also better align this release with the addition of cross saves, which we are working on and recognize is very important." That's kind of wild for me, like when I think about it, as big of a publisher as 2K is and Gearbox is and everything, how they did not release this game with cross saves at launch. So we will update you all on the new release timing once we've fully adjusted our plans. And they are going to be initiating the, I believe, cancellation of pre-orders here for Nintendo customers. So you're not going to have to worry about that. I believe you'll be getting your money back and everything. And they say for physical pre-orders, please reach out to the corresponding retailer. So sounds like this is going to be delayed relatively long. They don't give you a date, and they're probably not even anywhere near having it this ready if they're going to do the whole process of returning and canceling pre-orders and everything like that. A couple more things here. Two PlayStation things to quickly go over. PlayStation trophies will now unlock the ability to purchase real life merchandise for some franchises. They're going to give you that exclusivity ability to go and buy some actual physical things itself. It says here that kicking off with Ghost of Tsushima, players who have earned the Mono no Aware Gold or Living Legend Platinum trophies in the Ghost of Tsushima by December 31st, 2025 can unlock access to a selection of limited edition merchandise. So you can go buy stuff here. You can see one of the things, I guess that's just kind of like a collectible thing that you can purchase. Not exactly sure what that is, but they say here it's a commemorative pin featuring the same artwork featured on the platinum trophy icon, and it will retail for $25 US. You can also get a t-shirt for $30. So basically they're trying to gets you excited about being a person who unlocks a platinum and then to go spend more money on merchandise, I guess, through the PlayStation store itself. Kind of reminds me of what Nintendo does, where they have exclusive Nintendo store stuff, but I don't believe that coincides with you unlocking anything within the game. So we'll see how well that does end up doing. And finally, State of Play is coming, and it is today. So you may have already seen it by the time you watch this video. You may have not, because it is at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We don't know exactly what it's going to be, but 30 minutes of updates on unannounced games and brand new reveals. So I am really hoping we finally see first party stuff here from PlayStation, and it's not just a bunch of big third party games or even smaller third party games. Like, hopefully we're going to get that Wolverine look, something that we can see aside from all the leaks that have come out for it. And then maybe some other stuff that they do have in the works, like the game from Naughty Dog and the Heritage Prophet game, Intergalactic Heritage Prophet, which I think looks pretty cool. But we will end it there. If you do enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.